add people while it's live. So, adding Melissa again, adding Paul again, clicking invite, and now we are live, and let's see what happens. Otherwise, I am going on the net. I'm going on the other wireless if this doesn't work. Just to iron out whatever.
Yep, Paul got to come watch, but no actual invite. See if that works.
Does it have something to do with me being logged in at multiple accounts?
It shouldn't. I just took the link from above the window.
Hey!
The link from the address bar?
Yeah.
Why can't it be?
Didn't think it would work, but apparently it did.
Okay. Paul, click that. Click that, Paul.
Yeah, he just did.
Yay.
Sorry, I didn't see it right away.
Okay, so apparently copying and pasting the address bar of the Hangout itself is the join Hangout link. And we're live!
Well, do you have a link to put on the Twitters?
Oh, you're
Yeah,
so
the other
cool.
one. You want a link? There's your stinking link.
Where?
In the chat window.
That window.
Okay.
That window. Not it.
I'll-
Again.
Not it.
Not it.
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I need time to tweet anyway.
Hello world! Welcome to The Geek Life at thegeeklife.tv. This is episode 233, recording the week of August 18th, 2014. And with us, we've got a whole panel here. We have Paul joining us.
Hello.
We got Mike,
Hello.
Melissa,
Hi.
and I'm Fess. And this week, we've got a lot. We got a lot to talk about here. So let's get right down to it, especially after technical difficulties. And so that brings us to video and film to kick us right off with no sass.
Ooh, yeah. So this week in video, now for the new stuff, not too terribly exciting. We've got The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I didn't bother to go see because I wasn't that jazzed about Amazing Spider-Man 1. But hey, it's out there, so if you liked it, there it is. Also, Ty West's The Sacrament is out, which I found to be very interesting use of the found footage movie format, in which it's a horror movie that kind of mirrors the Jonestown story, but it's done in terms of, I mean, the way it's filmed is that there is a quote, Vice TV crew, the website Vice.
Mm-hmm.
They send a crew down to film this cult in the middle of the jungle, and the film crew is filming as they're down there, so that's how they get all the footage for the found footage movie.
Okay.
So it's handled in a very nice way, even though if you are familiar with Jonestown, the film doesn't hold a whole lot for surprises, but it does have some good performances and whatnot. So, if you're interested in a halfway decent horror film, The Sacrament is now out.
Cool.
Catalog titles. First of all, Sorceress has been released, which is possibly one of the trashiest films I've ever seen. So if you want a trashy 80s fantasy film, Sorceress is where you should go.
Oh, I misread that as sorcerer. I was like, what are you talking about?
No, Sorcerer is awesome. Sorceress is trashy.
Okay.
Also, Disney's Hercules and Disney's Tarzan just got re-released this week. Also, Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Ooh. I watched that all the time when I was a kid on VHS.
And if you're a Charles Bronson fan, there are a few fairly obscure Charles Bronson movies out, including Mr. Majestic, if you remember Mr. Majestic. Also, The Unforgiven with Burt Lancaster and Audrey Hepburn is getting a nice Blu-ray release this week.
Ooh.
As well as one of the best films noir I've ever seen, called Out of the Past. It's directed by Jacques Tourneur and stars Robert Mitchum, Jane Greer, and Kirk Douglas in a wonderful villain role. Fantastic movie. Track that one down. Also, if you're an Audrey Hepburn fan, you know, The Unforgiven, which I just mentioned, but also Audrey Hepburn and Shirley MacLaine in The Children's Hour is getting a Blu-ray release. Also, back into the trash video category, we have Bloodsucking Freaks on a Blu-ray and DVD combo. Fans of Charlie Chaplin would be interested to know that Black Hawk Films has cleaned up and released 12 films that he made between 1916 and 1917.
Cool.
These are
Whoa,
not
whoa.
big. Yeah,
You
not
made
big name.
12 films in 1 year?
Well, that was the year of the silent films, baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. People in the silent film era, you could crank films out. It's amazing.
Yep.
So yeah, 12 movies that he made in the space of a couple years. Unless you're a really big Chaplin fan, you probably don't know any of the titles, but they're all there for the taking. And the box set is on Amazon right now for about $60. So not too bad. Criterion this week, we have Pedro Almodovar films, Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, and Y Tu Mama También.
Yay!
I know, right?
Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. That was a great film.
Yeah, Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down is great. Y Tu Mama También is really great, too.
Awesome.
Yeah, and also John Cassavetes' Love Streams. So if you're a John Cassavetes fan, you can add that one to your collection. In the TV category, I see that Young Justice is finally coming out. So if you're a fan of the DC animated series, you can pick that up finally.
Well, season 2 or season 1? Season 1's
Season
been
1.
streaming already.
Yeah, and I think it's streaming beat it to disc.
Okay.
Yeah, it was already out. I already
Because finding season 2 streaming is like you have to go to illicit means as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I only saw first season, so maybe second season is also out. I don't know.
Kind of felt left hanging, you know?
Well, that's because it was canceled.
Well, after season 2, I mean, season 1 at least get some resolution.
Well,
you know.
yeah, that's true.
I blame Christopher.
I do too. I do.
Somehow it's his fault.
Oh, totally. And I blame Greg Weisman, because why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I blame DC Comics Christopher Danger Jones Esquire.
DC comic book artist Christopher Danger Jones Esquire. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
That's
That
what
is
I'm
his
saying.
full name.
A little inside.
Insider baseball there.
Yeah.
So, title of the week. I've got a couple of them. The first one in the I know exactly what I'm getting if I watch this DVD title is Blood Orgy of the She-Devils.
Okay.
Okay. So it's
Descriptive, to the point.
Yeah, yep.
it's a porno with everybody on their period.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Hey, you said you would know you'd get exactly what you got. You set it up already. Don't come to me.
She-Devils. Blood Orgy.
Blood Orgy, She-Devils.
Probably a little human sacrifice, I'm guessing.
And if it was edited down for television, it would be like Blood Oranges of the She-Devils?
Right.
I don't know.
Gratuitous
Like
boobies.
5 seconds long.
Yeah. Hopefully like a Kelly film, gratuitous boobies.
Well, it's a safer way. It's a less deathy way to get virgin blood. Is all I'm saying.
Let that one seep in. But
You
the
live
other
with
one
it.
I wanted to bring up, is a National Geographic video. They've been
Also
really
about
hit.
She-Devils.
Yeah. National Geographic video called "The Science of Stupid." Which I can only imagine is just non-stop clip videos from YouTube.
I was going to say, National Geographic does their own best of fail vids. Yeah.
and the truly beautiful thing is, I clicked through to Amazon to see what I could find out about The Science of Stupid, and it is starring, quote, names semicolon delimited, unquote. That's the cast. So I think it's not entirely filled in yet.
Okay.
Is it on pre-order or?
It seems to be a DVD on demand.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So keeping it
I love
classy.
Semicolon Delimited. They were great in all those films.
Yeah. Oh, what a great director. So yeah, National Geographic, keeping it classy.
And I want to become a director who uses that as his name.
Yeah, that could still be done, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yep.
In the world of television, I'm going to go to the second item here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new show that's being developed, and I think by HBO, but I'm not sure. I forgot the note here. But I saw it on NPR News, Twitter, a show called Stillwater. Follows a New York City cop as his life spirals out of control when he relocates his family to a small town in Minnesota. Written by Hastings, Minnesota native Mark Steven Johnson.
Huh.
So that's kind of cool. I've been to Stillwater once.
So they're trying to bank on the Fargo dollars, are they?
That's what the article suggested.
Those of us who know the area, like, really? Stillwater? I mean, unless
I
it's
know.
the tourist trap aspect that sends you insane in lumberjack days, it's not really small town Minnesota that's going to drive you up a wall.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, you want to do that? You go up in the Iron Range. And
Yeah, send them to War
Yeah.
Road.
get him.
Send them to Ely.
Bawabik.
Yeah.
Bawabik. Bawabik is the place.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sure.
And all right, so that'll be interesting. I'm wondering if there actually really actually going to be filming in the small town, or it's just going to be in the small town.
As much as X-Files filmed in Minnesota, I'm sure.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, I'm sure the cost to film in Stillwater, Minnesota can't be that much. I mean,
well,
you got a population of, 1,000? Maybe?
Oh no.
No.
Stillwater is a lot larger than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot
2,000.
larger.
Alright.
No.
30 to 50.
I think
Really? It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
size of
Stillwater's,
No, Stillwater's pretty big.
yeah,
Okay.
Stillwater's not middle of nowhere.
Yeah, when I was competing against Stillwater in speech tournaments in high school, they were one of the largest teams. It was a huge frickin' high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
interesting.
a giant community out there.
Yeah, that's what gets me when they say small community. It's like that's
It's like, no,
it's like
Compared to
saying
New York City, which has over 100,000, 200,000.
I suppose, but
wait, where are you getting your
Stillwater.
stats on New York City?
Guesses?
Honey, Minneapolis says 350,000.
I come from St. Cloud, which had like 45. I
I
don't
think
know.
you have-
St. Cloud is
you
60
have-
plus, dude.
You have
Well, that's before they started annexing everything. In the
dude,
by
you suck
townships.
at numbers.
When I was a kid, it was like 45. Then they started annexing everything.
Oh, sure. When I was
I-
a kid argument. Okay.
Which means I was in college at the time.
High school.
Fess, honey, you have
Moving
no
on.
idea. You have no idea.
No, I don't. I don't like people. Anyway, on to
So he does a vlog with us.
all right. So on to more serious stuff.
Yes.
So obviously, if you haven't heard it now, sorry to bring you the news, but Robin Williams has lost the fight to depression.
Yep.
I actually had no idea. And in turn, all of television honors the past of Robin Williams. YouTube and Hulu were really swamped with retrospectives and old interviews. I mean, a lot of like late night talk show stuff. You can find like clips and like even entire episodes of like past episodes of which he's on there, and they show clips or something like that. So, and on Twitter, one of the popular image memes going around was a shot from the movie Aladdin, in which he voiced the genie, of course, with the quote, "Genie, you're free," which is a cute and nice and innocent enough sentiment, understanding that he doesn't have to, fight the depression anymore, of course. But the American Association of Suicide Prevention really doesn't like that image because it's almost as if you gave up. I mean, technically, it's giving up, it's giving in, but it's they don't want to encourage that, of course.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the big fear, is that somebody will say, is like, oh, and look more at the romanticized version of it, or whatever, and end up choosing to go that route instead of.
Right.
I would also suggest looking up. It was in the last week, and I'll have to go look for the link. Bob Collins at NPR, who does news on the current. His wife is in clinical psychology, and he had an excellent kind of brief statement about it. But one of the worries from that point of view was, well, if this guy couldn't succeed, the worry was how many other people are going to look at that and say, well, what hope do I have? And so there was that big worry too.
Right.
But he also had some very fine words about why this has probably hit a lot of people harder than other celebrity deaths and things like that. So I highly suggest looking that up. So
It's
there was a very nice article on Cracked about the link between comedians and depression.
Yep.
Yeah, written by David Wong, who is, I think, my favorite writer at Cracked. He's also the head editor, but it's pretty great. It's a really nice explanation of, really, the funny people are oftentimes kind of screwed up in the head. Not 100% of the time, but they seem to go together, and it is a scientifically proven link.
It's escapism, kind of.
Well, it's not necessarily escapism, but it is a wall that's very easy to put up to help you deal with the day.
My family suffers from depression. I suffer from depression, and I also lost my brother to depression, which nobody on this show knows about, but now they do. And so I have
I know.
well, that's I meant an audience, but
yeah.
So I know a lot that goes around that and into it, and where the turning points are, and it's like, while outside forces can certainly paint a picture for you, or influence you in certain ways like that, the angle to help somebody is going to be more. It's going to be personal.
Mm-hmm.
The only way to really get to somebody that's in that far in to fighting depression is it's going to have to be personal, and there is there's fighting back that happens depending on the individual, whether or not they basically have to want to keep going.
Right.
And that's really what it is. And I should also remind everybody that if you do know somebody and they do end up doing something, certainly you can argue that it is the easy way out. And from my perspective, I would also agree. But it is also their choice. And oddly enough, I personally still believe in that choice, in being a choice. But it comes down to, it's not your fault, it's their decision that they did that.
Yep.
They can blame everybody that they want if they're that type of person, but it does come down to their decision, whether or not that you come up with, oh, if I just did X, or if I just did Y, or if I was there, I could have. No, that doesn't. It's already in their mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your fault. That's the best thing that I can say at this point. So that's all I have to say on my soapbox. So, who's ever next?
Well, the comics section is all you, sweetie.
No, somebody's been adding stuff to the... Oh, these notes for what we were just talking about? Okay.
Hugo.
Yes, XKCD wins the 2014 Hugo Award for... Oh, shoot, was it the best I'll look it up. I'll pull the link up as soon as I
it's like
pull
a
it up. But,
graphic or whatever. But
yeah, it's for the comic update called Time, in which on XKCD he updated a new frame like every hour, and then the most diligent persons would go through and compile it all into an animated GIF. We'll have a link to something where you can just scroll through each frame by keystroke. But
best graphic story.
Yeah, best graphic story. And we got a link to the article on IO9 as well as a link to where you can actually see the article in question. Funny thing about this one is that Randall Monroe, who does XKCD, sent Cory Doctorow to accept the award, and he donned a pair of goggles and a red cape at his request. He also... Cory also said that he was asked to read the speech at 1 word per hour in celebration of the comics focus on long-running cycles. I'm pretty sure he didn't do that.
No. Side note to Hugo's, Peter Davison was in the room.
Okay.
Because he was up for short form.
Okay.
Dramatic presentation short form for the Five Doctors rebootish, whatever.
Oh, yay! Five Doctors reboot.
Didn't win because he was up against Game of Thrones, but...
You know.
and four or five Doctor Who episodes, but...
Hey, Peter Davison?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
That's not Peter Davies. Is it?
No,
That's a
played
completely
Doctor Who.
Doctor number 5.
Oh!
Who
Never
wrote
mind.
the Five-ish Doctors reboot. And
Oh, right.
He was there with
Awesome.
his son-in-law and daughter, which had everybody excited, considering who his son-in-law is.
That was great. And the next two...
I'll take them. So, DC Comics is revamping the General Mills monster serials this year. Which yeah, I know, right? So, unfortunately, this year we're not going to get
characters there.
Yeah, unfortunately, this year we're only going back to the main three: Boo Berry, Count Chocula, and Frankenberry. So we're not getting Brute Brute or Yummy Mummy back, which makes me very sad because I really like Fruit Brute and Yummy Mummy. But anyway, we are getting the traditional 3 back, and the boxes were basically given to DC Comics to revamp. So Jim Lee did the Boo Berry box.
Okay.
Which kind of just looks like Boo Berry, oddly enough. But illustrator Dave Johnson, who is awesome and did all the covers for 100 Bullets and all that stuff, did Frankenberry, and Frankenberry looks pretty damn awesome.
He does.
And yeah, he does. And
Nice.
Rachel and Terry Dodson did the redo of Count Chocula, which also looks really awesome.
Well, let's be fair.
Yeah.
There's no Rob Liefeld.
Let's be fair.
Boo Berry
There's not much to Boo Berry to begin with.
Boo Berry just looks stoned.
I was about to say, he looks like a stoner ghost in this.
Well, as far as like design, I mean, there's a ghostly figure
Things with
versus
that.
everybody. Count Chocula and Frankenberry have things about them. It's like Boo Berry has a hat and bow tie.
Well,
Yeah,
you could,
but I do like how you can kind of see his hat through his non-corporeal form.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a nice touch.
There's not as much to work with.
He's a
I'm
very
saying in his
sleepy-looking
defense.
ghost.
Yeah, but if you were to hand me that box of Boo Berry, I would never have guessed that Jim Lee designed that Boo Berry. There is nothing about it that says Jim Lee to me.
I'm so
well.
sad we can't get a Rob Liefeld version.
Well, all the lines would point at the crotch,
Yeah.
and there would be so many
Actually-
pouches.
You know, it'd be if you're still alive, you know, it'd be awesome for Frankenberry. Jack Kirby. Imagine the Kirby dots for Frankenberry.
Oh, the Kirby dots would be awesome.
Yeah, you'd have Count Chocula with a broken back if it's Liefeld, because he'd have to like do the pose in a way that no human could do.
Oh, and there would be no feet. There would be like a lamp in front of the feet.
Exactly. 'Cause you can't.
Yep.
Well,
Because
no. It would be a bowl of cereal.
A bowl of cereal in front of the feet. Yes.
A bowl of cereal that's broken, considering how he did some swords and some.
All right.
A bowl of cereal that is torsion, so you can see the breasts and the ass at the same time. Anyway.
More sad news.
More sad news. Nick Post, full name Dominic Postiglione, passed away. He was one of the owners of the Source Comics and Games in St. Paul, Minnesota, as well as one of the leaders of the Midwest Comic Book Association. He was very well known in the comics community. He was a beloved guy, very generous, and he just keeled over one day, August 8th, and wasn't sick or anything. He just off like a switch. So yeah, I went to the funeral on Tuesday, and it was in Hastings, and as I drove by the church, I went, oh, that's not big enough, because everybody was there. It was a lot of people who really loved this guy, so very, very sad to see him go.
Yep.
Comic of the week. How do you follow something like that? Comic of the week. This week's comic of the week is Henchgirl at henchgirlcomic.com. It's an interesting little comic that starts off following basically a hench girl who I think she goes by the name Henchgirl. And
because why not?
I'm shocked. Shocked.
But to her, it's a job, it pays, that sort of thing. So really the whole comic looks at a variety of characters, and so you see a lot of things from basically the not superhero perspective. So henches or cronies or what have you, and a couple of supervillains as well. And I think there's somebody, Dollboy, one of them is actually a hero, or he can't quite get out there as a hero, but he gets sort of roped into this, and there's a little bit of this and that. The art kind of varies here and there in quality, but I think it is interesting enough to check out. So that's at henchgirlcomic.com.
Cool.
And moving on to tech.
Tech, huh? What?
Tech.
All right.
William Shatner's tech novels? Yeah, they're awesome.
I have a few copies of Tech Wars.
The television show?
The comic book.
Oh, okay.
All right. Mini swarming robots take shape. Yes, literally. This is Harvard scientists, with nothing else to do, have come up with little tiny, almost button battery-sized robots with little sensors, and they vibrate to move and everything like that. They're basically programmed, like swarm programmed to produce this shape, as in of yourselves, make yourselves into this shape. So basically, they'll just like rotate. They just kind of, oh, here's where you are. Let me move around to find where my position would be a part of the shape. And so basically it's all about edge finding and then stopping when you fill out this shape. And so it's kind of interesting. So I'm sure
they don't program all of them. They program like 4 or 5 seed robots. And the rest learn the pattern to be in due to swarm.
Yep.
So
yeah, so it's all about like, coordinating and, it's basically coordinating technology. And yeah, and I'm surprised that nobody made them, coordinate into a dick image, because of maybe not really.
You would.
Well, it's not released, but I'm pretty sure somebody made a dick.
It's Harvard.
It's Harvard. They have to have.
Oh no! Harvard would make a dick. I mean.
Yeah, they may not have published it in that article.
No.
Yeah, but be pointing at a Stanford sign.
Actually, yeah, they'd probably just write out "fuck Stanford" and then do a dick.
See, my other thought is because they use the vibration to move. My other thought is really they're going to play that really bad version of football with the vibrating table.
Yep.
So how long before Google buys them?
Well,
I think they'd have to make it faster.
Well, no, Mike.
What?
You take the swarming programming, you put it into big dogs,
Mm-hmm.
and You just had the big dogs swarm everywhere.
Oh,
And then we cease to exist as.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, because that's when the Terminators take over.
And not quite a swarm, swarmies, quote unquote, robots. No, quote unquote,
by
swarmies
swarm.
robots are to be employed by NASA. Prototypes are meant for synchronized and automated rover development. So these are not really swarms. It's 3 or 4 robot rovers meant to basically do synchronized analysis and resource information gathering, that sort of thing, and report back. But basically, it's a spread out and comb the area sort of robot.
From the same NASA who posted pictures earlier today or yesterday of watch our trash blow up in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
It was a cool photo.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, the latest resupply vessel that was one of the European ones to go up to the ISS, because it only was containing trash on the way down, basically burned up in atmosphere, and they caught pictures of it from the ISS. So it's a couple of cool photos of this thing just fireballing into pieces. And the joke is, watch our crap blow up, sort of thing. Because quite literally that was part of the cargo.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not try to recycle anything. Let's just burn it in the atmosphere.
Well, it's safer.
Yeah, true.
Well, the atoms are still there. They're just less ordered, and
Right.
they'll show up again.
Yeah.
They'll get work done.
ultimate
and
recycling.
everything. It's fine.
It's not in a landfill.
True.
Anyway, so moving on to more distressing information, but we're not going to go into it.
Yeah.
Because
This week
we're
kind of
not-
sucked.
We're not the platform for this particular discussion. However,
No.
it is tech related. So everyone's heard about the crap going on in Ferguson. Basically, a clash of militarized police against civilians within the town, within the city. Yay, democracy! So a lot of the reporters and just common citizens are turning to live stream and other live recording / posting solutions in order to basically have ongoing evidence of things going on that cannot be just apprehended by militarized police, and of them deleting your phone or just apprehending them, etc., etc. And this is obviously a lot of people that organize protests and things like that already know this sort of thing, and there's even apps specifically designed for people that are going to be protesting, just to try to keep the police in check, essentially. So that's pretty good information.
It's been a sucky enough week as of the end of last week that Disney released the dancing Groot footage on online for free, so people could have something fun to watch.
That's yes.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy, go see that now, because you'll need it. It's really good. It's a good, happy comedy action. Go see it. And another odd note.
With decent science, I should put in there.
Really?
In the
I must have missed that.
the open space scene.
Yep.
There were people sitting there going, well, why didn't he just blow up or rapidly decompress her type of thing? And there's at least one article out there that's no.
Spoilers to anybody. Don't listen for the next 2 minutes.
It's been out for 2 weeks.
No, it's just no. They did it right. When you're going through rapid decompression, they did it right.
Yes, they did. They did. That was very impressive. I was very proud of them.
Well, I was expecting a little bit more pain in the chest area, unless he's just holding his breath. But
no, you don't hold your breath if that happens.
No.
You exhale.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he was holding his breath, it would have been bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Because that's when you have the explosion.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Because it will find its way out of your body.
Yeah.
All right. So this is sort of latching on to the Ferguson sort of thing, as this post came up from GigaOhm. Facebook and Twitter have very different feed algorithms. Facebook just can't compete with breaking news. So there were several people, and especially like news reporters, that were commenting that their Twitter feed is full of Ferguson news, but their Facebook feed was 100% free of Ferguson news. So
well, Facebook is much more. This is getting discussed on This Week in Tech on this last Sunday. Facebook's algorithm is heavily based on what you hit like on and what you follow. Mm-hmm. That's how it surfaces things, to the point that you can miss news if you've accidentally liked too many commercial things.
Yep.
Because they'll start surfacing more commercial items, like, more shoes for you, and you might miss news from your friends because you've hit like on too many similar other things. So the suggestion is generally you should start gaming the Facebook algorithm by dumping a lot of any commercial things you might like, hitting ignore on a lot of stuff, and they'll start learning from that. But it is not a nice algorithm in the sense of trying to surface the stuff you're interested in, where Twitter just it's walking into the river. You just get blam. Here's what's happening right now. If you missed it, you missed it. Tough. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and also, I mean, if you follow hashtags, follow hashtags. I don't know how well hashtag following is on Facebook, but with Twitter, you can make a whole extra follow for that, especially if you use TweetDeck. Boom, there's your one column of hashtag whatever you want. So
right, where again, Facebook, I would say, sucks for that.
Yeah. No nice way around it. They suck.
Well, it's an ad. Really, Facebook, it's an ad platform. Twitter kind of tries it, but they don't do it the same way. So
no. Speaking of ads,
brought to you by
from Forbes.com, the inventor of the pop-up ad apologizes.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
This after they finally took the bamboo out from under his fingernails?
Well, I think it was a platform to talk about other advertising opportunities, but you just can't pass up an article like this.
Yeah.
Where he says, "I'm sorry." Basically, it's like, and the whole world doesn't care what he has to say. They just want him to answer for his crimes.
Sorry, I view it more as what's his face playing Bruno in A Fish Called Wanda. I'm sorry. Why you're robbing your own goddamn house? I'm sorry.
Speaking of algorithms.
Oh, yes. There's this lovely video that popped up on YouTube a few days ago that is an extremely technical description of something that Microsoft is working on to streamline hyperlapse videos. So if you start out with like a GoPro strapped onto your helmet and you're hiking down a path and you're taking video of your hike down the path, a lot of this stuff is showing up on YouTube. Well, since it's all in real time, it gets really boring, right, to watch. Mm-hmm. So what people have been doing is just speeding up the video, which doesn't come out very clean as a time lapse because since it's on a moving surface, it's just bouncing all over the place because you've got it fixed to your person. So what Microsoft is working on is an algorithm to crank these first-person videos through to make a really clean time lapse of a person moving through space. And this 7-minute video, like I said, is really technical, but wow, the results they get are really insanely good. And it actually goes into using the video to map the actual environment and approximate where the camera is aiming at any one point in time and making an actual 3D map around the area and then approximating a very smooth way for the camera to travel through the environment. Oh. It's amazing to watch.
Yep. I wonder why Google's doing this. Why Microsoft's doing this. It doesn't sound like they do something that interesting.
Microsoft's got a lot of money.
They don't use it very well most of the time.
They also, though, a few years ago, were talking about a thing where it wasn't a hyperlapse thing, but it was for generating like really, really high-res images, where they would actually source from just basically everywhere they could online, like say the Taj Mahal. Mm-hmm. So they would start, sifting through and searching for pictures, of it and like partials and that, so they could bring all of them in to piece them together to make it really ultra high-res pictures of something. Just people's snapshots up on the web and just of different things, so they can actually create full 3D models and very, very high-res pictures of the things. So it seems like an extension of that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
No, we just gotta wait to see how they're gonna monetize it, I suppose. But speaking of Microsoft, Steve Ballmer is very excited to be the Clippers owner. That's it.
Clippy.
That's it.
The basketball.
And he's no longer on the board of directors.
I know, but there's so many great transitions here today.
Yeah.
And speaking of people that used to be more a part of Microsoft,
Yeah.
I got a link here for it's in one of these links for Bill Gates amongst other celebrities doing the Ice Bucket Challenge. For those who haven't heard about this, they don't.
Where have you been?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also probably don't know what the heck's going on in Ferguson. So the Ice Bucket.
Well, to be fair, Ferguson's a little more important.
Well, true, but they're both like all over the web right now.
Yeah.
But Ice Bucket Challenge is basically a fundraiser for the ALS Association, which sources are sketchy about where the actual idea came from. But basically, it carries a challenge that you cover yourself in a bucket of ice water, so water with ice in a bucket, over your head, and then you nominate somebody else to do it. They have 24 hours to do the challenge and or donate $100 to the ALS Association. Now, there's
no matter what
issues
you're
with
supposed
that.
to donate. Yeah.
What?
No matter what, you are supposed to donate some money to ALS. It's
Yeah.
just if you choose not to do the ice bucket, they ask for 100. If you choose to do the ice bucket, it's like $10.
Hmm.
So
Well, still, I mean, it's like you can't, in real life, just go, hey, if you don't do this, you have to do this thing that you're not contractually
Well,
obligated to do. But anyway, celebrities have gotten into it, and there's a whole slew of people. You could, I mean, we don't even need to give you the links, but we'll give you the links anyway. But
Do you
you can
wanna
probably
see
just search them
John
yourself.
Thurman be dunked in icy water by his husband in a jockstrap. That's out there.
Or Chris Pratt.
It's
And-
going. Yeah.
And Dave Grohl.
And
Dave Grohl's has
Dave
some.
Grohl's was wonderful.
Yeah, wow.
And Cookie Monster?
Yes, I just saw that. And Cookie Monster.
Okay, so apparently donations are up to at least $15.6 million for the ALS Association, which is up by $13.8 million more than last year during the same time period. So it's obviously doing some good.
Yeah, they're milking this while it lasts because
Yeah, and
they've seen.
Let's wait till what happens when winter comes.
yeah. But yeah, I've seen some posts from people. It's like, like being all sarcastic, like, oh, so you're dumping perfectly good water on you instead of donating to this charity, and it's like, okay, A, they're still donating, so fuck you, and B, 15.6 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's also
Which is
people
so
arguing
much
about the waste of water.
Yeah.
It's like, we waste water way more than that.
What are you all, Fremen?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, no, it's
I'm going to go with your juices.
Ooh. Speaking of Ebola. Oh wait.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, did we mention it was kind of a crappy week?
Oh, wait, Hitler. Okay, got that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you. Here's Volta Hitler for everybody.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Just had to get that in there.
Minnesota Fringe Festival.
Yeah.
50,226
Hey,
tickets.
hey. Yeah, so
Push us
the
along.
reason I wasn't here... Why are you doing the Fringe Festival?
I was trying to move us along. Go ahead.
God damn it.
Go ahead.
So,
69 shows.
well, just gonna watch it. I'm done. You guys go.
No,
And
come back.
Melissa's doing a wonderful job volunteering. So
Yes, so the reason I was not here last week, or last time I should say, was because I was working for the Minnesota Fringe Festival. And yes, the Fringe Festival sold by...
No, keep going.
Gotta learn to lock my door.
But you were working it. You were also in part of it.
Yes. I did have my own show in the Fringe Festival this year. Did PowerPoint karaoke there. 5 performances at Intermedia Arts, and it went well. So cool. But yeah, Minnesota
nice
Fringe
venue.
Festival. The attendance was up. We sold 50,226 tickets. 878 individual performances of
That was
100.
just for PowerPoint karaoke alone, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's better than Cats. You'll see it again and again. 169 shows during 11 days at 19 different venues.
So officially, was this the largest one yet?
Yes, I believe so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And if you didn't make it to Minnesota Fringe, there's a smaller show that happens almost right after it in Edinburgh. But
Minnesota Fringe?
Oh, that is so not smaller. Yeah, Edinburgh is like 3,000 shows.
I know.
It's immense.
Wow.
And also, I think Melbourne Fringe is going on right now.
Yep.
Which is, I don't know what the size of that one is, but it has almost the exact same hashtag on Twitter, so that kind of throws people off.
Crap, I'm in Australia, but where is it?
Yeah, I managed to record several shows, actually, of which I'm trying to do something for a new show I'm doing for the Webcast Beacon Network, which looks at stage performances. So I'll be able to, hoping to touch base with several of these people for interviews and such. But all the ones I saw were really great. So I saw Top Gun the musical. I saw Jumping Jack Kerouac, which was really interesting and fun. And I got wholesomely cultured by going because I don't normally go anywhere or do anything.
Yes, and culture.
So it's really good. It was a really good experience. So I don't know.
You should go outside more often.
I mowed today.
Yeah.
I broke the mower.
Yeah.
Broke the mower?
Yeah, the wheel
mowed
came
in a
off
while,
and I
have you?
ran over it.
Oh, you ran over what?
The wheel came off and I ran over it.
Well, they'll do it.
Oh, Mike's gone.
Mike is gone.
No, I'm fine.
There you go. 14,000 steps.
Speaking of copyright,
Ooh, you're doing better than I am. Yeah, so speaking of copyright, so there is this wildlife photographer named David Slater who was in Indonesia in 2011 and photographing monkeys or rather macaques, and one of the macaques grabbed his camera and took a selfie with it. And it's this beautiful selfie shot by a macaque, and it kind of went viral on the web for a while and calmed down. And Wikimedia, which is behind Wikipedia, had a copy of that image stored, and David Slater tried to issue a takedown request for them, and Wikimedia refused because the monkey took the picture. And therefore, the monkey should own the copyright.
But therefore, if the monkey hasn't given consent,
Yes.
the
That is
takedown is
true.
still legit if he's acting on behalf of the monkey.
Oh, I know. There's so much fun discussion about what should happen to this photo because
To be real, I think Wikimedia is being a dick, but that's just me.
selfie is not consent.
Oh, I'm going to do that poster next year for con.
yeah. So yeah, monkey copyright. That's something else that happened this week.
That sounds like something Seth Green would do. I don't know.
Wait, is it actually a monkey?
It's a
What's a
macaque.
macaque?
It's a macaque.
Okay, I didn't want to piss off.
It's a primate. It's a primate.
Okay, some primates get really particular if you call them, monkeys. Or...
Well,
It's a
especially-
goddamn primate
All right.
Okay, so
with copyright.
Take the primates, boy.
yeah, now, are there any plans to expand the Creative Commons license to cover that?
to expand to all primates?
Well, you know,
Wouldn't the primates have to sign on to
category,
it?
you know.
Well, you know what? I mean, my actual take on this is that the photographer did indirectly cause that photo to be taken.
It's his equipment.
It's his equipment, and I mean, if he sets a timer and then goes off and does something, and the
I was just
camera-
about to ask about time lapse.
yeah, or a
Timers,
time lapse
yeah.
or a timer, or for
Remote cameras.
remote cameras, anything like that. if the photographer caused, even indirectly, the photo to be taken,
that's where I think Wikimedia is being a bit annoying, because as part of wildlife photography, one common thing to do is remote cameras. In fact, one thing that I dearly loved was National Geographic was doing photography of snow leopards, which this is when they were doing some of the initial ones when it was hard to even find snow leopards because they're so hard to find. One of the ways they did it was they took the mat like from a grocery store to open a door, put it down, put flashes out, and set the camera up so if the leopard steps on it, and the pictures are great because this poor leopard has 4 flashes go off its face.
It's like, what the hell?
So it's like, but it's like, by Wikimedia's argument, that's a selfie, and therefore National Geographic doesn't know it. And let me know, National Geographic and their photographers are not going to let that one go.
Right.
So I think they're being, honest, kind of dickish about it. And it's like, no, he's the wildlife photographer there. It's his camera. Dudes. Yeah. But poor macaque. But, did the macaque sign an agreement? Yeah.
Yeah, and like if you hand your camera to somebody else to take a picture of you and somebody else, is it them who owns that picture?
You get the macaque to sign a release form for being a model, as you're supposed to do, right?
That's funny. Wikimedia thinks it's people.
Yeah.
Speaking of cameras,
so Iceland might explode very soon.
Oh wait.
Yeah. And so there's been a whole series of earthquakes in Iceland, and it's code orange for the eruption of one of the volcanoes, namely
that one.
Barbara
Streisand?
Bardarbunga.
Yeah, Bardarbunga.
It'd be more cool if they named the volcano Barbara Streisand.
Barbara Streisand, the volcano. Yeah. So, there is a sneaking suspicion that this volcano might explode, and so somebody set up a webcam at the volcano. So you can go and look at the webcam and see if Iceland is exploding right now. Well, actually, if you go right now, it's in the middle of the night. You can't see jack shit. But, during the daytime, you can see maybe exploding.
Does that mean the Ashcloud Twitter account may actually reactivate?
Yeah, I hope so. It is a different volcano, but I think that would warrant the Ashcloud Twitter account coming back. And in my defense, the previous volcano was also very hard to pronounce.
It's Icelandic. What do you expect? We will call it Sven. Sven.
Sven. And that's what I got. Anybody got peaks? Or do we have gaming?
I'm about to make Paul really jealous.
Ooh! Go for it.
Huh?
Guess we got a Warlords of Draenor beta key.
Yeah, that doesn't make me too jealous, but still, I'm intrigued. Cool.
For those who may not know, Warlords of Draenor is the new World of Warcraft expansion coming out in November. So I already mentioned it to Julie, and she's like, "Bastard!"
I got like Pandaria beta, so I'm okay with that. I don't have envy.
But literally.
Nice. So how it goes.
I am too. I mean, I literally got it last night.
Oh wow.
Like 11:31 p.m. is when the email came in. I have installed it. It's a 26 gig download.
Jesus.
Well,
Thrall shows up on your doorstep?
To be fair, they have to reinstall the entire game to do it.
Right. Yeah, no, I remember that.
Just so it doesn't interfere with the regular one.
Right, I remember that with Pandaria, so you basically have a second running version. Yeah.
Yeah, so the if you already have like Pandaria and stuff, after you pre-purchase the game, once it comes out, it will be a much smaller download.
Right.
Wait, this is a World of Warcraft thing.
Yeah.
Okay, is this the one they're talking about the Iron Horde or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I refer to as Warlords of Draenor. Thrall unclogs a sink. Yes.
But
I've been playing so long.
Yeah, so I'll be able to get some gaming in and hopefully talk about that next time.
Hooray!
Yay!
I wish I could play with you though. I mean, the game.
Wait, what?
No, I
The
know.
game. I wish I could play the game.
No.
I have like a free month somewhere, but I still have Pandaria, so whatever. Beaks.
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 Somebody else start.
Mike.
All right, I'm already there. So, last week I ended up seeing a movie that somewhat intrigued me on Amazon Prime streaming, and I see it is only on that one for streaming right now. But it's called I Know That Voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a movie documentary about voiceover artists and vocal talent.
Cool.
And it showcases a lot of a lot of the talent out there. It was created by John DiMaggio, who does Bender on Futurama, plus others, and he did it just to showcase a lot of his friends and things like that who are really, really talented people, and going through a lot of the stuff that that they go through with other people. Oh yeah, I can do the Donald Duck voice. See, it's like, great. Can you do it for 5 hours in different types of emotions and repeating the same line again and again and again until the director's satisfied that you got a good one? I mean, can you do that? Then then come and talk to me. But yeah, and it is actually very funny, and they've got some really good stories in there. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Mine's boring.
Aww.
So if you remember the really cool high resolutions of Comet Churyumov-Gerasimenko, which is the one the ESA probe is about to harpoon like a white whale.
Ooh.
So there's some really beautiful like high resolution photos that this probe has taken of it. It's some of the best views we've had of a comet up close. To get an idea of how close the probe is or how large the comet is, somebody took the pictures and sized it against the city of Los Angeles. And IO9 presents that for you.
Lovely.
Yeah. LA isn't very
Wow.
No, LA is tiny.
Wow.
It's basically like, and there's tens of thousands of these things orbiting, and any of them could strike us at any time.
We're done with that. Well, some of it would burn up in the atmosphere, right?
Not that size.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
That would hurt. That would hurt a lot.
That's kind of an
Some would
extinction
burn
event.
up in the atmosphere, and then a whole lot more would end up burning up once it hit the ground out of friction.
Remember when Neil deGrasse Tyson talked about major extinction events?
Yeah.
Wait, we're not trying to get this into a mineable orbit, are we?
No.
No. They're just harpooning it.
Yeah, but you don't harpoon
I know
something.
Captain Ahab on the probe going, white whale. No. No, they're harpooning it so they can get closer and get readings. I'd have to look up the entire science package that they're doing, but basically, instead of just orbiting it, they actually want to attach the probe to it and try to get better readings off it as it orbits.
All right.
I once again, this is one of those science experiments where I think they're harpooning it because somebody said, "Hey, let's harpoon a comet." Okay.
It reminds me of that Mr. Show sketch. Let's blow up the moon.
Yeah,
It really does.
I swear, it's like we could get funding for that. Really, we'll try to call it science. Yeah.
Well, speculative science is still science.
Yes. So.
Melissa, do you have a peek?
Not yet. I'm still trying to think of one. Go for it.
All right. Well, I got 3 if you don't pick one.
Well, go for it.
All right. So this is a quick one. He's been around a while. Mike Mahak is the creator of a comic called Cleopatra in Space, and I think he's actually got a publishing deal right now, so you might not be able to see much of it online. And he does occasionally create cute Batgirl, Supergirl comics, and you can have a link to that on his Tumblr page. And they're occasionally like 1-page or 2-page things, and they're so freaking adorable. Because they're like as if they're like kids actually. So it's more adorable in that context. So there's a link to that for his particularly Tumblr for those tagged comics. And also, I found this recently. This is What If Michael Bay Directed Up. So it's a full-on trailer. You know, one of those trailers that basically goes through the whole movie and gives everything away because
It's Michael Bay.
So obviously, it's going to have what you expect in that trailer, but it is so very well done. And I'm just going to have to say, power through it if you're not quite liking it. Me, I was laughing my ass off. And then the end, after what you think is the end, will have you go, and it's great. And terrible. But please watch that. Oh, my God. And one last peek, being greedy here. And the final show for the Mustache Rangers improv group. The Mustache Rangers was an improv group that was together for, I think, about 8 years. And they had their final performance at Huge Improv Theater. And I managed to record it on 2 cameras, and I worked my magic as best I could, with fading between the two, and got some perspectives, and it really worked out really well for the very last part. But it's basically an hour and 41 minutes of just delight. You know, I can only recommend go if you want to see some funny. Check it out.
Yeah, these guys are ridiculously good at improv. So it's good stuff. I thought of one.
Okay.
I found an iPhone game called Daisy Pop, and I'm addicted to it. It's one of those Twitch games that there are things on the screen that move around, and you poke at them, and you get points. That's pretty much it.
Is it kind of like the cat game app I have, where it's got the little red dot that you can go and try and catch?
Well, not quite that stupid, but it's actually very pretty to look at. But they're like little flowers swirling on the screen, and you kind of wait for them to overlap so you can pop a lot of them at once, and then they pop, and then ladybugs go scurrying and pop other flowers, and so you only get like 5 or 8 clicks per game, or 12 or something like that. So you have to be very careful with.
Oh, here's where it is one of those, and 5 hours later.
Yeah, well, that's when you just kind of hit replay over and over again.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's a very simple little game, and if I remember it, it's free. You can spend an extra $1.99 to unlock something, but that's it. You don't have to. It's totally optional.
Cool.
So yeah, it's a fun little game.
Woot.
So if you're addicted to stupid little games like I can be, there you go.
Cool.
There we go. That is all for this week's The Geek Life at thegeeklife.tv. And you can catch us on the web at thegeeklife.tv.
All I see is Chris's hand.
Fist.
Rebel!
Here, I'll try it again. You can find The Geek Life at thegeeklife.tv. You can email us at thegeeklife.tv@gmail.com. You can leave us a voicemail of anything that you have an issue with, or if you want to tell us about some new news that we may not know about, at 1-612-567-6515. You can get us on Facebook at The Geek Life, Twitter at The Geek Life TV, or on Google Plus, The Geek Life Podcast.
Yay! Dum dum dum.
This week has been brought to you by Mike,
Goodbye.
Paul,
Adios.
Melissa,
Bye-bye.
and myself. See you next time.
So there.
And